right, everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Expect Better podcast. My guest today, local legend, Jay Carlucci from the Drop In. Jay, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
How's it feel to be on the show today? I'm feeling really good because I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm going to blow your head up a little bit. I'm a huge fan. You are a local celebrity, whether you know it or not. I mean, I've seldom come across anybody who said, the what? The do what? So, that's a credit to you, this amazing business that you've built. So definitely want to let our listeners hear your story, how you got to where you are, and learn a little bit about the bar. So thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks. I don't mind my head getting a little bit bigger. We're good.
We were able to get it through the doors. So
Yeah, we got it
that
through
means
the
it could
doors.
get bigger.
My shirt's, getting a little tighter, but that's all right.
Yeah, so obviously I think our listeners are definitely going to want to hear your story about the bar, but let's tune back and talk about you a little bit. Obviously, I got an awesome opportunity to work with you. You sold and bought a home with two of our agents here, with Liz and Lindsay in the past, which is awesome. I was able to jump in a little bit and help out a little bit on the last two transactions that you did real estate-wise, which was a lot of fun, right? And imagine you were buying right now. Would you be buying right now?
No, we just made the cut.
You just made the cut.
Yeah.
What year did you buy your home?
Let's see. We've been where we the latest home a year and a half.
Year and a half. So right at the beginning of
Right when the market started going crazy.
right when it started
Right
going
when
nuts.
COVID was there, and it was like the prices were ridiculous, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to get out and
Yeah.
get into something, but we were afraid to what to get into because, like you said, what's the almost like what's the difference,
Well, like everybody wants to obviously sell when the market's high and cash out,
Yep.
but the other side of that is if you're looking to buy a home,
You're gonna spend it.
you're going to
come up
spend
more.
it. Yeah. Well, that's why I tell everybody if you're buying a home, you don't want to get, screwed. You don't want to overpay. But when you're buying your home, just get what you want. If you need to update a kitchen, a bathroom, do what makes you happy. If you got to paint the cabinets, I know you did some awesome
We did a
renovation.
lot, yeah.
You did a lot of work to your home. Get it the way you like it. Spend the coin if you can, and then chill out because there's other places to put your money. So
I'm just sick of the whole moving aspect.
I-
I moved in this house. I said, that's it. I'm dying in this house, and that's
Yeah.
just the way it's going from now on. But
yeah, smart.
yeah, and I have a young daughter, so like I can't keep just doing this to her too. So,
Totally.
but
So let's talk about your family actually while we're on the subject before we shift and start to go crazy.
yeah.
Let's talk about your wife and let's talk about your daughter.
Yeah, well, they're my life. Started obviously with my wife. We actually met at the Drop. She was working there at the time, and
What did she do there?
She was a bartender there.
Okay.
She was a bartender there a couple years, before I got in there. So,
So you inherited your wife.
I did. I got stuck with her.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, babe. I love you. I didn't mean that. But she had a lot of great qualities that I love in a human being.
Sure.
Trust and honesty and things like that.
Oh,
So
amazing person.
yeah, she was an amazing person. She's crazy, but I could deal with the craziness, and I love it. And more importantly, I'm crazy, you're crazy, and she puts up with my craziness. So
perfect.
I was like, perfect. Why not?
Match
You know what
made
I
in
mean?
heaven.
And then what we do, we gave birth to a crazy baby. So like, here we are.
So Gianna, right?
Yep, Gianna, Net Carlucci, and
How old is she?
she's 6.5 now.
6.5. All right.
And she's
November. When is her birthday? Is it November?
October.
October. Okay.
October 29th, which is 3 days after mine. So,
Okay.
So we're the same week, and she's changed my life around the best of everything. To be
Oh, yeah.
honest with you. She's a little spunky little girl, just like her parents. So.
Those are the ones who are the most energetic and the most troublesome early. I think are the ones that end up the best.
Yeah. Well, they get it out now.
They get it out now.
I'd rather let her get it out now than the way I did in my
That-
20s. In my teens.
I'm with you.
So
I'm with you.
she's good. She showed me she taught me patience in life, which I never, not that I never had, but like it was very short with it.
Mhm.
She taught me patience. When you come home from work and here's my 6-year-old daughter and she's got a coffee table set up to drink tea,
Yeah.
plastic cup.
You got to do
Or
it.
she wants to paint your toenails.
Yeah.
Recently, I did my first TikTok video.
Come on.
Swear to God, my wife posted.
Was it a TikTok dance?
It was a little dance. We did this thing to
Oh.
some red wine movement
Is
thing.
it the up down
Yeah, the
slap?
up down thing.
Oh.
And the thing we did. Whatever.
We're gonna have to put a link to that on this.
We did it. My wife, she's younger than me, so she liked the TikTok. She's been trying to get to me. I'm like, I'm not doing this crap. Get this out of here, But when my 6-year-old daughter says, "Daddy,
Yeah,
we're gonna do a TikTok,"
you can't say no.
can't say no.
Can't
so,
say no.
So I did my first TikTok.
That's all. Congrats. I actually just got TikTok on my phone, and I can't do it. I'm trying. I'm slow. And
Well,
steady.
you're one step ahead of me because I still have not really seen the video because I don't have TikTok downloaded on my phone. I have not
You
taken
know what I'm
that
doing as
step.
soon as this is over.
Oh
I'm looking
yeah,
for that video.
I'm sure.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure.
So is Kenna involved in the business?
So she was physically involved. She was a bartender, fantastic bartender, fantastic partner for many years. But then when we were having the kid, we decided that it was time for one of us had to step away, and honestly, not just that. You know, as a business, it starts to grow and you start to just take on more things and
Mhm.
the books and the numbers
Yeah.
and the behind the scenes stuff.
The insurance, like we were
Insurance,
just
we
talking
talk
about.
insurance. Now you're dealing with accountants and lawyers and everything, financial advisors and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's hard,
Yeah.
to somehow mix that all in with actually even being there and doing the work
Yeah.
too. So we just decided, you know what? It's best one of us has to step away and take care of that, and the other person would be the hands-on.
Totally.
So in the end, she decided to say, you know what, let me do this stuff. She was
Sure.
better at that stuff.
Yeah.
She's better with the numbers.
Sure.
She's better with the computer than I am.
Sure.
QuickBooks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Me, I'm still old school, write it pen and paper,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow I do that.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's so complicated now
it
that,
is.
that to do that, but you're going to lose pieces of paper hanging around the house. You got to
Yeah.
use the systems, and
Yeah.
they will make your life a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what she does now. So she takes care of that stuff.
Yeah,
for me.
I talked to real estate agents thinking about coming on board, and some of them are still handwriting offers. And I said, listen, if you're still handwriting offers, then I definitely can help you.
Yeah.
Same thing with your business. If
Yeah.
you're going to leverage, you gotta do it with the right technology and
You
tools.
do.
So that's awesome. So you met her as a bartender there. You took over the bar. Obviously, happy life in Trumbull, beautiful daughter. But let's bring it back to your roots. Where were you born and raised?
So I was born in the Bronx, and I was raised throughout the Bronx and in Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
Yes.
What Mount Vernon
Money.
is that like a tough?
It's money earned in Mount Vernon, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's,
money earned in Mount
That's what
Vernon.
they call it.
That's
Yeah.
like pistol wave in New Haven,
Yeah.
hard hit in New Britain.
I grew up in the hip hop era, so Heavy D and the boys, they were all from Mount Vernon. It
Oh,
was a
come
couple of
on.
big time. Yeah. There was a couple of good.
Well, you really saved your good stuff for the show.
I did.
You didn't tell 'em about Heavy D.
Denzel Washington's mother and was had a beauty shop in Mount Vernon. He was always around. He would come to the Y and give speeches to us.
Come on.
How to better your lives.
Is
And
it Abraham Lincoln High School in Mount Vernon, or is that in that?
Lincoln. There's Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln High
yeah,
School.
I didn't call it. Maybe
Okay.
they did. I don't even remember. I didn't
Yeah.
go to the high school. The high school was named Mount Vernon High School, but I didn't go
Okay.
to high school there. I went to high school in the Bronx at Christopher Columbus.
Okay.
So
All right. Awesome. So tell us about your early childhood. Who raised you? Parents, siblings.
yeah, I mean, I got a younger sister. My mother, my father was around when we were younger. To teenagers, they were, they had their ups and downs, kind of
Okay.
in and out of type of thing. I just had a big family. Lots of cousins, lots of aunts and uncles, and we stayed close. We still stay close. Typical growing up on the streets of New Yorker, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Got into a lot of trouble. Did a lot of good, a lot of bad, stupid things. You know what I mean? Things that I'd kill my child if she ever did.
Totally.
So, but survived, made it out. And,
What drew you to Connecticut?
uh,
What year did you kind of
so
get
I-
out of Mount Vernon?
I was in New York the entire time. At the time, I think I just started. We've talked in the past. I wanted something different,
Mhm.
and it was no particular place, no particular state, no city, anything. I just needed something different.
How old were you at the time?
I was in my young days. I bought the Dewdrop in 2006, so this is probably in my late 20s when I started saying like, okay, I need to do something, and at the time I was actually living in Eastchester, New York, which
Okay.
is another small village in Westchester County, and I decided like I can't save money. I can't ever do what I want to do by staying here. I was paying $2,500 a month rent at the time, which is again,
Yeah.
20 years
Like
ago.
5,000 a month now.
Right? And so I'm like, it's crazy. And I just realized that unfortunately, lack of education, the things that I did in my past, and I wasn't suiting myself up to be successful, at least financially in life,
Sure.
with a career.
So after high school, did not go on to college?
No.
What did you do did you finish high school?
I finished high school late. I did finish it the summer after, and I just worked. I've always worked. I've always had a job.
Where'd you
And,
what type of jobs did you
Oh
hold?
man, I worked for painting, construction. I actually worked Carvel, because honestly, at the time, it was the only place that would give me a job, to tell you the truth. I had
Okay.
a friend, his family owned it, and I said, I need work. I need to do, nobody's giving me opportunities. I need something. They gave me that. I ended up at a lumber yard.
Wow.
My bosses there owned a bunch of lumber yards, and I just kept on moving through the lumber yards, and I ended up in Portchester Lumber. Was the final place I worked there altogether for 6 years. While I worked there for those 4 years, I was in Eastchester. I moved back
Mhm.
to Mount Vernon with a buddy. We lived in a rent control building, and I just started saving my money. And I just, I said, I just got to keep doing this. Stop going out. No more weekends,
Mhm.
no more craziness. Get it together.
So from college to early 20s, you basically were just hustling, getting jobs, and obviously not what you would have written in a book for what you want to do, but you
No.
probably learned. What did you learn? Get working for other people during all those years.
Yeah, you learn. What do you learn, man? You learn what to do, not to do.
Exactly. What you don't want to
What you
do.
don't do. You know what I mean? Like, you learn. There's nothing better than experience in life, right? No matter
Sure.
what you do, no matter what you're trying to do. And so I didn't realize it at the time, but I got a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
Um, Growing up on the streets, and I didn't get a great education, but I got a great common sense
Yeah.
with it.
Street books. Street.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You learn how to pick up on trusting people
Yeah.
and lies and deceit and all that stuff, which I've able to use now in running the business that I am now.
Totally.
So,
And you learned that you didn't want to work for anybody.
yeah,
Right?
that was the biggest
I mean,
thing.
is that the biggest thing?
Biggest
That's
thing.
where I was going with it.
When I worked for the lumberyard, that's what got me. I was like, I got to the point where I was in Portchester and I was like setting up materials for jobs with contractors
Mhm.
who were driving in the lumberyard, driving around, 8 Series Mercedes Benz and BMWs, making millions of dollars a year. And then you're taking these materialists, and these guys, they didn't even know the difference between a nut and a bolt,
Yeah.
2x4 and a 2x6.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
What's wrong? You know what I mean? Like, why is this guy making $1 million a year? And I have to tell him what materials he needs for his
Yeah.
build a house.
Right.
And
They're just paying someone else to do it.
yeah,
Right.
and I think I just got to this point where like you stop coming up with excuses and you start taking opportunity and creating your own opportunity. And I decided like this is it. I need to do something for myself.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it was. I didn't care.
So 23, 24-ish, you've worked the day by day jobs, the lumber yards, ice
Yep.
cream shops. So you just wake up one day and say, "I'm going to Connecticut."
So when I decided I was going to do something, saving my money, and buddy of mine, my friend Anthony, was like, let's do something. Like, what are we doing? Right at the time, clubs were really popular. The club deal.
Oh yeah.
And in Westchester,
well.
we were in Westchester. We used to go travel. We would go down.
Did you go to Pearl?
No, no comment. So we would go down to Manhattan to buy clothes a lot because where we were in that area in New York, there wasn't a lot of places to buy club clothes technically.
Yep.
So our first idea was let's go rent some place and sell these club clothes. Well, it was before the market crashed because the market crashed right before 2008.
Yep.
Couldn't afford anything. I mean,
Yeah.
we weren't even close.
Mhm.
So we got to the point where we gave up. I'm like, what am I going to do? There's nothing around here. I can't afford anything. Just keep saving, keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
His realtor that he was using said, "Hey, listen, I got a buddies up in Connecticut. They own 3 bars. Why don't you come take a look?" And I was like, and my buddy Anthony called me up, and I was like, "Let's go take a look." I'll go take a look. He didn't even come with me. I was like, "I'll take a look." And that's how it is.
So a realtor said that he had basically 3 bars. He was selling the business, or was he selling the real estate?
No, he was selling both.
Oh,
He was
okay.
selling the both. Dad owned the Dewdrop. Dad
Okay.
owned
Yeah. I was
the
saying, what other one do you
Oxford Ale House, which
Oxford
is
Ale
called
House.
something different now. Yeah, it's
still
right
open
off
the
67.
business?
Yep,
Okay.
it's not the Oxford. It's
Something else.
turned a few times.
Sure.
And the Southbury Lodge.
Okay.
So they're all different owners
So,
now.
different owner.
Yeah, I
but at
believe
the
they're
time, the same guy owned
Yeah,
them?
the same guys. There was 2 guys, and then they had a third partner, I believe, in the Southbury Lodge.
Okay.
So I went to see them all, and the funny thing is, I didn't even want to buy the Dewdrop. I wanted to buy the Oxford Ale House
Okay.
because the Oxford Ale House didn't have a kitchen. They get their food from the restaurant Roses next behind them.
So you didn't want to worry about
I didn't
the
want to
food.
worry about it. I was like, I don't know anything about running a business, anything about doing anything. Like the more simple it is, the better for me.
Sure.
But they didn't want to sell those. They wanted to sell the Dewdrop. So I made an offer on the Dewdrop, and I didn't think that they'd even accept it. And next day they were like, "Yeah, let's do this."
So this was
2006.
2006. So now you're okay. I'm buying this bar. I'm buying this business. What's your bar experience?
Zero.
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 You just said I got, and you used all the money that you saved up,
I
every dollar or most of it, or
the first day that I walked into the Dewdrop. Two things. I had 18 cents to my name. Before I walked in the door, I put my hand in my pocket. I
18
pulled out
cents.
lint and 18 cents. That's all I had left to my name. And, I'm from New York, from the street. So we have a guy that knows a guy. We have lots of guys I had to borrow money from.
Okay.
And I was already in debt to start, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
I used up my money and I had to borrow money and me and my partner, we bought the property and the business.
So OPM, by the way, is the best way to do business, other people's money. But, obviously jumping into something you don't know, that's a little scary, right? And because someone giving you money back in a business that you don't really know,
Yeah.
you must have had a good relationship or had some good collateral.
Yeah. It's a good thing, good to have a good reputation. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
totally.
The people I borrowed money from, they're not the banks and the places I should have.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I wasn't capable of taking it
I
from
get
them,
it. I've been there.
So I ran the risk. I took the risk, and I was just like, this is it.
That's awesome. So you actually did end up purchasing business and building,
Yes.
with cash investor money, and every dollar
Yep.
you worked to save.
Yep.
That's amazing. So 2000, would you say you bought high? No,
No.
no. This was you.
No,
You
but
bought,
we bought it at a good price.
bought it at a good
Yeah.
price, and so uh, in terms of growth, right? How much would you say if you had to compare then 2004? Is that what you said?
6.
2006? Sorry, very short memory. You just said that. 2006 to now, how much would you say the business has grown percentage-wise, not dollar-wise or anything?
Oh my God, percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise.
There's no. I don't even know the number.
It'd be interesting to figure that out,
It'd
right?
be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be an interesting
We
number.
just gave kind of some see maybe with QuickBooks you can go back and then look
And
at your
see.
handwritten notes.
Yeah, but we didn't do QuickBooks back then.
Well, I said we're gonna have to go with some handwritten
Yeah,
notes.
yeah. Pieces of paper, little notebook,
Yeah.
raggedy pieces of paper.
Growth is what it's about. If you're
Yeah.
not growing, you're dying. That's right.
I lost money for the first 6 years at the Dewdrop.
Okay.
6 years I lost money, but the funny part, the thing that kept me there was would lose less money every year, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if I lost X
We're gonna
amount of
do better
thousands of
next year.
dollars, the following year I lost thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
but a little bit less. You know what I
I
mean?
think that's important for people to listen and hear that are listening. That you're gonna lose money maybe
Absolutely.
starting a business, right?
Absolutely.
So what kept you motivated? How were you living?
I was stubborn.
Okay.
Just stubborn Kenny, dude. It was, I refused to lose. I got that from my mother,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't want to fail. Even when every job I ever worked, I was successful at, and even though I didn't have much, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna figure this. Somehow I'm gonna figure this out, and I want to because this is my one chance, right? To me, in my mind, this is my chance right now. I'm not gonna. If I lose this, I go back to doing what I've been doing, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get opportunity. I can't rely on the world to give me opportunity.
Right. You
At
gotta
this point in
create
my
it.
life, I got to create my own opportunity. I got to build my own door to open for myself. So there was no way I was losing, And
So you had the business and the real estate.
yes,
So how were you floating that? How were you?
loading it by borrowing a lot of money from people.
Okay.
So like I borrowed a lot of money from people from friends and family at first.
Mhm.
Then me and kind of my wife, we started dating, and she was taking what she was earning, and we were splitting it together,
Floating it.
flowing it because my partner at the time. He didn't want to be into the business anymore because the business was losing so much money. So
Oh,
we had to buy him.
Opportunity.
Yes, so we had to buy him. We ended up buying him out. So she was taking her tips and giving them to me, and we were paying to buy him
Wow,
out.
that's an amazing story. So I assume the buyout. He was at that point. Was he silent or was he actually?
He was silent.
So
He's been silent.
a silent
Yeah.
investor losing money would probably walk for pennies on the dollar, I assume. So
Yeah.
that might have been another blessing, right?
It was.
I mean,
It was because look, you know how partners could be great, but partners sometimes are just best for dancing. You know what I mean?
good one. I'm going to steal that line.
Yeah. So
Dude, you got some good lines.
yeah, I'm all right. I was a comedian. No, and he was good, but he wasn't. He was a good, and we were friends. We known each other our whole lives, but he wasn't there going through what I was going through there.
Totally.
He didn't. He doesn't know the business. He didn't
100%.
understand that.
Wow.
So it was just best at the end. Like, you know what? He's frustrated. I'm frustrated. We're losing money. He can't help me. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it was time for him to go.
Awesome. So he's gone. Now you're in there. I mean, just think about it now. If you had to, whatever you make, which I'm sure you're doing great, if you had to cut it in half, it's still good, I'm sure. But like, it's when you got your own baby, that's your baby.
It's my baby.
That's your baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good for you.
We earned. I paid my dues, and
Yeah,
every cent that comes out of it, we
yeah,
earned.
love it. So talk to me a little bit about the actual history of the Dewdrop Inn, whatever you know or can share. I mean, I'm from West Haven, which is
Yeah.
not very far. Living in Monroe, believe it or not, it's like right in the middle,
Yep.
depending on how you get there, which is awesome. So I've known about it for years. I've heard it was a biker bar. I've heard it was a brothel. I heard it was a wings place. Like what is the history? What can you tell everybody about the origins of the Dewdrop? Whether who started it, when that was, roughly. Not looking for exact dates, but
Yeah. So I knew nothing about the Dewdrop when I bought it. Right. I just, like I said, I just wanted to own a business.
Yep.
I knew nothing about the history. I knew nothing about Connecticut. Nothing about Derby. Nothing. Nothing. When I tell you,
Might be a
nothing.
good thing.
It probably was. It probably was one of the best things that happened to the Dewdrop is to have somebody who's never been around to own it. Right.
Yeah, good point.
So it was crazy. And moving to Connecticut from New York is a cultural shock in almost a negative way at first, right? Because you go from something that's open 24 hours a day, anything you want at any time, to now I'm in Connecticut where I'm like looking at abandoned streets and things are closed on Monday and things are closed, excuse me, on Sundays. So I knew nothing about it. When I started telling people I bought the Dewdrop, just introducing myself to people, or people were, they were like, "You bought the Dewdrop?" And I'm like, yeah. They were like, "The Dewdrop." And I'm like, yeah. They were like, "Okay, nice to know you."
What's the return policy?
Yeah, nice to know you, buddy. You know what I mean? So, it started off in the Whites, which were great people, Mr. White and Mrs. White. And they're actually, well, they just passed, but they were around a long time. In the beginning, they opened it up in the late 50s, I believe.
Okay.
And it was a very industrial, blue-collared bar. That's why they...
Just a bar? Did they have food?
Yeah, they did basic food, sandwiches,
Okay.
soups, things like that. It was nothing crazy. And they owned it for many years. They owned it from, like I probably say, whatever, 1960 to the late 70s, I believe, or 80s or something like that. And then it was your basic local watering hole,
Okay.
and industrial workers across the street. 34 is all
Dive
industrial
bar. Is
across.
that a good term?
Yeah,
Is it a
dive bar.
dive?
It's a dive bar.
Dive bar.
It was, and it was a dive bar when I bought it. And in some ways, it still is a lot. No matter the landscape's changed, but it's still,
Yeah.
still because of the size and the way it's built. It can never be really more than what it is at this point.
Did
But
you say it was a biker bar?
it was a biker bar.
Originally or later?
No, later on it became a biker bar. Crazy hardcore biker bar. Those stories that you don't want to talk about in the air.
I gotcha.
Stories that I've heard before me, and stories that I had to deal with when I bought the bar. And it was a really a bike. It was a biker bar and a local bar when I bought it. That local dive bar.
Sure.
And it was fun, though, to tell you the truth. I mean, it was fun, Yeah, it was crazy. There was some good stories to tell, But I met a lot of great people.
Yep.
And that though the bikers and the locals, they knew how to respect the bar, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, and that's how it started out. That's what it was. That's what I inherited. I didn't want to go into changing it. I didn't know anything. I figured let's just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And that's what I did.
So when you bought it, were you the owner that like would come out and make drinks, or were you kind of like just coming at the count the registers at the end of the night, take your money, or were you pretty hands on with the people?
I've been hands on from day one. I wanted to get to know my employees, get to know my customers. I wanted to learn how to work behind the bar, learn how to cook in my kitchen, which I did, and whatever needed to be done is what I wanted to do.
So basically, learn all that, and that's awesome. Like I always try to when I'm meeting with people on the podcast, like try to relate it to like real estate, and like I think when you run into or join the broker role, it's good to be a broker who actually sold and did his own paperwork,
Yes.
so that exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell agents. They want to start a team. I'm like, before you pay somebody to do your paperwork, before you have a showing agent or an assistant, learn how to do all of it yourself.
it.
So it sounds like you kind of emulated that model, and you were what, a bouncer, a bar. Do you ever throw anybody out? Okay, onward.
Next question.
You make drinks. You know how to make drinks. You know how to make chicken wings and burgers, sandwiches.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, psychiatry. Oh, I know that role.
Therapist.
I know that role. I know.
So
I know that
you learn how to do it all.
I know that role.
And you do it. You just do it.
Yeah.
So to me, over
Cleaning the tables.
clean on it. I did it all. I
Wipe down the
scraped
bar?
gums. I cleaned the bathrooms. I did it. You did it all. To me, it was a well-being. It wasn't just, I bought a bar.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, I just bought my well-being. It just so happens to be a bar.
A bar.
And you do what you got to do. And then when you're not making money, you know that you can't pay people to clean your bar.
Right.
You can't pay extra bartenders. You can't pay cooks.
So you were doing all
You
that.
did it all.
Did it all.
17, my wife included, 17, 20 hours a day sometimes, every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, because you got late hours, right? And so what time do you open and what time do you close?
Well, Currently, I open at 11 o'clock, but we close around 12 now.
Okay.
Back then,
Midnight.
it was 2 in the morning.
Right.
Regular bar hours,
Wow.
and you don't get out to 3:34 by the time you finish everything up.
It's wild.
It's crazy. And I was driving back and forth to New York in the beginning, so I'd stay at the bar and I drive down to New York, sleep for 2 or 3 hours, drive back up so I could get to the bar, clean it, get it going. Go to the supermarket. I wasn't making money, so everything I made from the night before, I'd have to take to the supermarket to buy product.
Wow.
See what I had to do.
Well, everybody wants to be in the liquor business because the markup's amazing, right? But when you start throwing food in and things that go bad, you really got to be smart with your purchasing
Oh yeah,
power and how much you're spending, your shelf life, right?
Yeah.
Liquor's amazing because you could stay long, right?
yeah.
Forever, right? Or well,
Mhm.
get some flies eventually. But
Yeah.
that's incredible. So you basically had to kind of learn that,
I learned two businesses. I tell people there's a bar and a kitchen,
right?
and that's what I have. I have two different type of businesses,
Okay,
run completely differently,
right.
numbers completely different,
Sure.
staff completely different. Everything about it is different, and that you learned eventually how to combine them and make it happen.
Right.
And that was the difficult part. And you learn in losing. Like we talked about this, like from people stealing from you,
Yeah,
waste.
yeah,
Everything. But it hurt my pockets, but I gained with experience and knowledge
right.
in my business, and I knew at some point I was going to be able to take this knowledge,
Yeah,
take that negative, and turn it into a positive and successful business.
totally. Totally, yeah. So you fail, therefore you succeed, right? What
Yeah.
what what was the shift? When did the shift happen from opening as a regular bar, shifting to a brothel biker bar or whatever it was? What year and when did you see the shift into the high functioning, profitable business that it is today?
I I think it was about I'm going to say about 4 or 5 years after I was there that I decided to make changes. I learned that you can't be afraid of change. And what I was doing and what the bar was doing when I bought it, it wasn't working, obviously. The
Right.
people who had it before me had to sell. I've been here for 5 years and I'm 6 figures in debt already. Nice, good 6 figures,
Yeah.
to the point where I was like, I'm going to owe this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So you just start making changes. What do? You bring in better quality food. You bring in different types of beers.
Mhm.
Honestly, you start telling people, sorry, you're not welcome anymore. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. If you're a drug dealer, no more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that sounds funny. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Sometimes people welcome the local drug dealer.
yes, they do.
Mhm.
And in a way, and I did at first because that was my only customer base. It
Right.
was the only way the register was ringing up
Yeah.
was, you got a drug dealer here, you got a leg breaker here, you
Mhm.
got this here, and you're like, they weren't causing any problems in the bar,
Mhm.
and they were at least putting something in my cash register.
Are they scaring away the
But at the same point, you realize they're scaring away everybody else, right?
Right.
It's not at some point, whatever the reason is, good or bad, it's not working.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, things got to change.
Mhm.
So I got to start changing things. I changed, even the way it looked. I started renovating the bar, taking down the old broken down walls and dusty pictures on the
Mhm.
wall, the decor, and I start changing things little by little. And I start changing the food instead of having crappy ass, the cheapest quality chicken wings or
Yeah.
burgers.
Sure.
Start bringing in the best quality chicken instead of bringing them in frozen. I'm bringing them in fresh.
Yeah.
Everything is just start doing things the way I want to do it, and hopefully it works.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm closing my doors any day.
Right.
I'm closing my doors.
So 2000 is this 2010 ish?
No, probably around 2010 when I started making the changes.
Making the change. So, as another example, we talked about this before we jumped on and hit record. But the drink special thing, like everybody says, come to my bar on Monday night. You can get penny wings. Now, I can imagine that it's going to cost you more than a penny to make that wing.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you're selling a wing for a penny, just as an example, right? Like, what other types of changes did you make specific to whether it's a drink special for cheap or food for cheap? What did you change to get rid of the clientele you didn't want?
I think what I really did is just I learned the profit margin, how important your profit margins is when it comes to your revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually learned to try to pay attention to every cent what something cost me and what I need to get from that.
Sure.
So what I used to just view as a plate of chicken wings. Oh, that plate cost me, $2. I'll charge $4. I'm good. And then I started to realize like, no, that plate has to cover not only the cost of the chicken, the sauce,
Yeah.
the cooks, the insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My well-being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Employees, all
Sure.
that stuff. So I just started to realize like I need to make change and to make sure that I got it. Gone were the days I just stopped. Like you're catering to everybody, and you're like I said, I used to do half price wings on Monday night. We used to do happy hour. We started doing like things, and it's great. People are coming. You got a nice crowd, and then at the end of the day, though. I've said this, my electric's being shut off.
Yeah.
My car's being repossessed.
Yeah. No profit.
No profit.
Right.
I didn't get bedroom furniture till 8 years after owning the bar. So it's on the surface it seemed great, but behind closed doors,
Yeah.
we hurting. So it's like make this change.
Yeah.
Make this change
It's
now.
a facade. A lot of bar owners live a facade.
Yeah.
The life is fake. Like you could look on social media, and anybody could look great on Facebook, right? But
Yeah.
if you really dive into it,
It's not.
it's not.
Busy doesn't mean you're making money. Doesn't mean you're making profit. It looks great.
Yeah.
You're shoulder to shoulder deep, three people
Yeah.
deep in the bar. Looks
Yeah.
great, but then you're giving you have $1 off of your beers and you drink $2 off your drinks
Yeah.
and you're doing half price wings and it's awesome. And you think at first you think like, wow, this is what you want. You're bringing in people, but then in the end you realize that you're only hurting yourself. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
The harsh realities of owning a business
Yeah.
start smacking you in the face. Like, no, this isn't working. This is not how this goes.
Yeah.
So you make the tough decisions, and those tough decisions come with a lot of change, a lot of disappointment in some people, but you just got to stick with them and go with it.
What would you say the success rate is for a bar owner in Connecticut?
I mean, it's the most unsuccessful business in the world.
Right. I mean,
In the world.
and
Less than 5 years in
and
bar.
longevity. I mean, right. Less than
Impossible.
you answered the question, right? Yeah. I mean, if you make it 5 years, like you should just stop and just sell and get out.
Just go.
But you continue to grow.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So let's shift a little to the food, right? So I'm very well aware that you're not just wings, right? Like
Yeah.
your prime rib's amazing, your burgers are amazing, right? The food's incredible, but the wings are no joke.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been there before with my buddies, and we sit there and we just pound,
Yeah.
right? We just kind of keep them coming. What is, and I will respect your desire to keep your secrets safe, so you're not. I mean, often imitated, never duplicated, right? Should kind of be your thing. But what can you share vaguely with why are your wings so amazing? Why are they so like they're? I'm not hungry after I eat your wings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it starts. I like to say we're a well-oiled machine, which means I cross my T's and dot all my I's, right? So from the wings that I bring in, like any food, is quality.
Mhm.
You could bring in the wings that, when I bought it, they were using these small, crappy ass wings that were
Mhm.
they were disgusting. You know what I mean? You open up a case of wings, you get feathers, feet, chicken heads.
Oh, all right. So is that a thing? You could get wings when you order them from like Frank Purdue or whatever. They get
you
feathers
them
in
all.
there.
Feathers in the chicken, like it's like, oh my god, what?
So what do you do if you get feathers in the chicken?
Well, you
like
gotta
back
pluck
then?
them.
You gotta pluck them.
That's it.
So did you pluck those back in the day when you had the bad wings?
Oh yeah.
That's unbelievable. And feet? Did you say is that a bad
Yeah,
thing?
sometimes you find the chicken claws and the feet in them. You find the beaks. Sometimes you find the whole head in them. Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
this is making me smile. My son loves wings, so like we go. I mean, he's a little younger, right? He's 9 years old, but I'm gonna be bringing him out probably next week because I'm real fired up to have him test your wings. But I just the thought of that, like
it's crazy.
feathers in the wings and feet and
So you
claws.
start bringing in quality food, the equipment you use. I got the top quality fryers with quick recovery time, which means that, when you obviously I cook at 350, but when you dump a basket of 100 cold chicken wings in there, that temperature is going to drop automatically. So you need a machine that's going to take that, cook evenly, not just cook the wings on the bottom hot and the wings on the top cold.
like convection
You know,
bake.
Yeah, you know what I
Come
mean?
on,
You
man,
need this stuff. You need a good oil. You need to change your oil consistently, right? On a daily basis. We change our oil every day. It doesn't sit in there for 2 days, 3 days, 4
Are there
days.
some restaurants that keep that oil?
I
Yeah,
have no
don't
idea.
call anybody out,
You know
I'm
what I
just
mean? Like
chatting.
I'm sure that they don't clean it as good as they should. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's up to them. That works for them, and I don't know how busy they are, so I'm not
Right.
sure. In the beginning, I didn't change it every day, because I couldn't afford it, and
Right.
why bother? It wasn't even being used.
Yeah.
So you start doing things like that. You start accumulating a great staff, right? I mean, sometimes a business can only go as good as your staff, at some point.
Yeah.
And you start hiring quality people to come in and work and appreciate what you're doing and work for them. We're going to work really hard for their money.
Sure.
Cook it the way you want to cook it and do it the way you want to do it and add something more to it. So you start bringing a better staff for that. You just start doing these little things.
Yeah.
Even from the outside, you start cleaning up the bar more better, right? You start giving it a better vision of people. So when they walk in, they're not like, oh my God, where am I? You know what I mean? So you start doing all these things, start making these changes.
Yeah, the renovations you've done quite a bit of.
Yeah.
How much do you
Many.
think you've invested in physical renovations?
Oh,
of the
yeah,
place?
hundreds of
hundreds of
thousands,
thousands, right?
hundreds
You,
of thousands.
you got to always reinvent yourself and
You do.
updating every few years in that
Absolutely.
business. So back to the wings, man, because I want to go with this. So I went onto your website.
Yep.
You have an amazing website, by the way.
Thank you.
Do you want to shout out the dues letter if people want to sign up for that eventually? If you launch that, I know it's coming soon. Or?
Yeah, it's coming soon. You can do letter. Write some stories. Write your opinions as long as it's a good opinion.
Okay.
Try to. I believe it's really big to interact with your customers, destination, communicate with them.
Sure.
I feel like a lot of businesses lack that.
Yeah.
But we tend to try to stay with it the best we can.
You got to keep your client base in touch. I mean, you have 15,000 followers on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
I think I saw approaching 10,000 on Instagram, or maybe around 7,000 I saw on Instagram, which is great. Imagine what you would do on TikTok, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You would blow up on TikTok. But back to the wings. So
Yeah.
I went to your website. Always fresh, never frozen, cooked to crispy perfection.
That's
right,
it.
but your flavors here are amazing. I mean, there's literally 2 pages from your mild, medium, hot, barbecue,
Yeah.
teriyaki, honey mustard, Asian glaze, sea salt and vinegar, Cajun, to all those, and then you get into that's like your basic. And by the way, there's like
126.
127. Right, there you go. 100. You know your stuff. You know your
Yeah.
menu. 126 different flavored wings, but that's under the basic category, and there's more basic, but the not so basic are awesome. You got honey hot barbecue, honey teriyaki, honey lemon pepper, honey butter, honey garlic butter, General Tso's chicken. I mean,
Yeah.
what, like literally tastes like General Tso's
Yeah.
chicken.
Absolutely.
Spicy peanut butter and jelly, I mean, talk to me about that. I mean, that's what everybody says that I talk to said, oh my gosh, that place has peanut butter and jelly wings. How do you do that?
I'll tell you what, they're one of our best sellers. So it sounds awkward, but it works. That's all I know. It works.
Did you create that, or was that?
I don't remember. When I bought the bar, they were doing some wings, but I eventually, you know what I mean, got the ideas and just like performed it a lot better than what they tried to do.
Yeah.
So
Because then you get into the not so basic, and you're getting into strawberry habanero, mango pineapple habanero, hotter than hot for all the hot. I mean, there's some
Yeah.
crazy people that want to put themselves through. They want
They
to
would-
punish themselves
they
with
like
hot
the
wings.
punishment. I was just gonna say they love
Yeah,
the
I'm
punishment.
gonna send my boy Ryan Semino over there to do a review. He does reviews locally. Right now,
Does
he's
he?
doing the buffalo chicken sandwiches everywhere.
Oh, the
I don't know if
what,
you've seen
like
those.
the Nashville hot sandwich.
Yeah, he's doing that. He went to Popeyes. and,
Yeah, no, those
you
aren't.
know,
No.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna send them to your place.
Yeah,
and we're
no.
gonna put it on
I got
social.
things way hotter than those. That's
Oh, I like it. That's a challenge. And then you get to the basically ridiculous wings. Peanut butter and jelly's actually on this one. Korean barbecue, cilantro, Mabel bourbon barbecue, Cajun garlic butter bacon, Parm butter bacon. These are wings, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Do you try to add so many every year? Or are you kind of good where you were at, or
No, I mean, like, I worked through the years, me and my staff, we work through the years with new flavors, and we work on them, and then I basically come to a point like, okay, I got enough, let's add these to the menu,
okay?
and that's kind of what we do. There's no set way of doing it, to be honest with you. I did it, my latest was in probably a year and a half ago at this point in COVID. I wanted to bring something different, I didn't know what was going to go on with COVID, how it was going to affect us, so I was like, all right, let's add new flavors, let's add 30 flavors to get people talking different now,
Sure.
more about us, and we did that, but I haven't added anything since, but we add them probably every couple of years, we'll make a change.
Something.
Yeah.
Tell us about do you have one cook? Do you have a couple cooks?
I have 34 employees right now.
34 employees in that place. Wow.
Half of them cooks, half of them bar staff.
How many square feet would you say the dewdrop is?
I don't know, maybe
It's small, right? I mean, is it 1,000?
1,000 feet between, and that's kitchen and
Right.
seating area.
So you're just cranking them out.
Yeah, oh yeah. My staff does an amazing job. I have.
Anybody you want to
Four
shout out?
cooks.
Any cooks?
I wish I could do all of them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I'll do.
It's simple.
My managers are key to me. They're so important. And in my kitchen, I have two main. Well, I had two main managers, but I have Rachel, who's my main manager. She's my right hand. She's come a long way, and she does an incredible job of running the business now.
Sure.
And then in my kitchen, I have three. I have Sarah, Adi, and my man Keith, who's been with me the longest. and they do a fantastic job. They
Yeah.
know how I want it done. They know the flavor that I'm looking for, and they organize it. They communicate with me, and we're always working together. And oh
I
man,
would
it's
have never
incredible.
guessed that many employees. That is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that's incredible. 7 days a week.
7 days a week, 11 to close. 11 to 12 every day.
How many seats in the restaurant?
I think I have about 50 to
50
about
seat.
50,
Wow.
53.
So about a 50-seat
Yeah,
restaurant. I mean, that's
yeah.
and the bar. You how many bartenders can you have at a time?
On Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we run with four at a time.
Wow.
Four bartenders and one phone girl, phone person, I should say, that just answers the phone, does all the to-goes and things like that. And then I usually I haven't had anything since COVID, but I used to have door guys too. But now I'm kind of doing the door myself for now.
Okay.
So
So you know who's coming in and out.
yeah.
Do you deliver? And if you don't, are you on some of those platforms where people can?
No, I'm on no platforms when it comes to food. The problem is we're very busy, and that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to keep up if I had to worry about my in-house, the people who are calling for to-goes, and then if you had to order from a phone somewhere,
Yeah.
it would be a complete. My kitchen is not big enough, so I have plans in the future
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
expand
I'm
that
sure.
kitchen.
I'm sure you do.
Once I do, I'll be able to use some of those platforms. But I also like personal experience. I like people having to walk in
Yeah.
the Dewdrop, see what it's about,
Yeah.
talk to my staff, have a conversation while you're waiting for your food real
Yeah.
quick. Maybe have a quick drink while you wait. You know what I
You're
mean?
not going to
So-
do the Dewdrop food truck
No, no.
with
Oh,
peanut
God.
butter and jelly wings, all you can eat for.
I've been thinking about it for years. And
trend now.
Who knows? It is a trend, but food trucks are just,
More
it's,
work.
it's more work. People
Yeah.
don't understand. And in a lot of ways, more work than in the sense like, it's one thing when you have your restaurant. It's the bar is right there.
Yeah.
So the kitchen is right there. The
You can
bathroom
get
is right
whatever
there.
you need.
Cleaning supplies, food supplies right there. With a food truck, you can't do that. You got to park it
Gotta
somewhere.
bring it.
You got to clean it. You got to load it. You
Yeah.
got to drive it somewhere.
yeah.
You got to sit there for hours in the heat most of the time, right?
While you're cooking.
While you're cooking,
Ugh.
and you got to do it, and then you got to shut everything down. You got to wait for everything to shut down
Sounds
and
horrible.
cool off. You got to go back to where you got like the Dewdrop. Come back to Dewdrop,
Yep.
and then you got to empty it all out, put it back in storage.
Ugh.
You got to clean it.
Sounds horrible.
It's a disaster. I
Sounds
don't want to deal
horrible.
with that. I got enough headaches in my life.
I hear you. You're trying to
know?
simplify your life.
Right.
I go the same
Simplify
route.
it,
There's
yeah.
things I could do. I mean, I try to not. I don't work with any buyers anymore, right? I could probably add,
Yeah.
a few $100,000 a year, right? But I'd rather not do
You'd
it.
rather not. It's not worth the. At some point, you realize it's just not
Yeah,
worth the. It's not worth the penny. Right? It's not
Exactly.
worth the
It's
money.
not worth it, and
Not
it's
worth
not
it
all
at all.
about that for us.
Exactly. It's not. I don't. I do what I do. I love what I do, and I enjoy it. And it's not all
Yeah.
about the dollar. It's great to finally
Listen,
buy a house and have a family. I never had that before, but
I'm very careful who I align myself with in any business that I do. And when someone says to me, it's all about the money. I'm a nice handshake. Cool. It was great talking to you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you later.
yeah,
It is at a certain point when it is that. But when your business to be long term sustainable, if all you're chasing is the dollar, you're going to be let down. So
when I give
I'd
interviews,
love to hear you say that.
When I give the interviews with people, I tell them, I'm like, listen, we are all, including myself, in this for the business.
Yeah.
Because as long as this business doors are opening up every day and we're crowded every day,
Yeah.
naturally you're going to be financially successful working for me.
Yep.
You're going to make money. If you come in this with a selfish attitude that I'm just coming here to make money, I don't give a crap about everything else,
Man.
you're going to weave yourself out.
Yeah.
And you're not going to make what you think you can make.
Exactly.
That includes me.
Ugh.
That even as an owner, right?
Totally.
So we have to go in there, work as a team, as one.
Love
And
it.
in return, I get to keep my business open. You
Mhm.
get to work for me and make great, fantastic money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do it. And now I don't want my employees to work for me forever. I can't do that to them. I can't give you a forever job. But while you're here, you could be very successful.
Yeah.
And so we have to do this together.
Yeah. Nah, listen, I absolutely love that. What's is there? You own the building, right? You
Correct.
mentioned. So what's up? Is there a second floor? Is
There's
there like
two bedroom apartments up there.
those are rented out?
One side's rented out. One side I use for like dry storage sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot. Some things, I mean, if I need to put a box up there, it has my office and a couch.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
that usually
That's
basically
perfect.
do it for me. You know what I mean?
Well, creative accounting too is amazing. If you're, I don't know how you structure your business. I own my property or my office, so I pay myself.
Yeah.
Right. So there's so many advantages to having that, and
Yeah.
it obviously comes with some headaches. But
of course.
financial freedom in the end. If that's your goal, then having that as an asset's incredible. What about parking over there? I have heard some people say, where do you park? You park. I know there's some spaces right there.
Yeah.
But there's also down the road a little.
Yeah. So when you're pulling up to the Dewdrop and the bar, say it's on your right hand side, if you just drive up 70, 80 feet up the hill, you'll see a big parking lot on the left. That's our parking lot.
Okay.
There's no signs. I've had it since I bought that in 2015.
Is that your property?
Yes.
Okay, so you own that's part of it, like actually part of it, or
It,
you?
it is. It is, and it's a separate property.
Okay.
But when 2015, I just started. The parking became an issue at my place, and
Yeah, yeah.
people were complaining us to the police and to the state.
Yeah.
And I had to sit down with the city officials and be like, "Hey, listen, we gotta do something here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's work. They weren't, by no means that Derby Police Department's great, and they wanted to work with me in fixing this situation.
Yeah, totally.
But something had to be done, and I don't blame them because there were cars at that time. They were parked everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
On the curb, across the street,
Yeah.
wherever. And it's a lot. And so we had to change it. So I bought that lot, so I don't have to worry about it. So now, COVID came in, and we did a lot of adjustments. Actually, COVID made me basically redesign my business. So, like right now out front, and there's no parking out front of my place. It's strictly for to-goes. So if you come in and take out, you could park right in front of the front doors.
Okay.
Walk in, get
Smart.
your stuff, and walk right out.
Yep.
I still get bikes in the summer. So like the parking lot to my left now is just for,
Bikes.
bikes during the
I
summer.
like that. That's
And
cool.
then my cars are up in a lot of it over there. So
That's smart.
it is.
That's brilliant. So it is your lot. It's just a separate property from
Yes.
the. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Smart, man.
Yeah.
Buy like everybody says, buy more land.
Yeah.
God's not making any more land.
No.
Right,
You know your business. Like we know our business the best,
Mhm.
and we see that progression, and it's part of the progression. Did I want to spend $100,000 on a piece of property? No, I'd rather have that money in my bank. But
Right, of
that
course.
$100,000 was going to make me a lot more
Oh,
money
that's brilliant.
and save me a lot less aggravation.
That's
So you do it.
that's
what
brilliant.
I did.
That's brilliant. Who would you say you consider to be a great mentor or role model for you? Has there been anybody in your life that has really motivated you and kept you on a straight and narrow with business?
Just my mother in my life.
Awesome.
Period. You know what I mean? She was badass. Sorry about that, but she was
No, you're good.
she was a incredible person. You know what I mean? And she taught me everything. She was the first person to believe in me. She put up with me, and she had a lot of resolve as a human being, which I tend to say was probably one of my best qualities, especially when you own a business.
Yeah.
You have to be ready, even when it's negative. You just
Yeah.
got to be ready to turn that negative into a positive, no matter how bad it seems. And it's why I'm thick-skinned. It's why I'm stubborn. It's why I'm patient. It's all the above. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I got that from her. You know what I mean? So
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of it's I've done quite a few of these now, and it, family role models seem to be commonality, right? That's
Yeah.
what we're exposed to at a young age.
yeah,
That's who sticks with us when
Yeah.
times are bad,
yeah,
and they were bad for a while. I
Yeah.
mean, we've all been there, so
Yeah.
that's awesome to see that
yeah.
that mom was the one who kind of
She was.
instilled all those things in you.
She did. And she unfortunately she passed away 11 years ago now. She got cancer.
Oh, sorry.
So, but even during cancer, she was an inspiration.
Yeah.
She had cancer, still worked 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Still, I used to get into arguments with her. She would get in her car and go visit her family, go visit her friends, and I'd be like, "Ma, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You got cancer.
Yeah.
You're sick. Stay home.
Mhm.
Let them come see you.
Yeah. No.
Why are you getting in your car to see them?
Yeah.
This is their time to come see you now." And it didn't matter. She was like, "No."
Yeah.
She was like, "Nope. I'm not.
gonna live my life."
I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do it the way I do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see them. I'm gonna still go out. I'm gonna do things.
It's the best
It
inspiration.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
And back then I was mad at her, but now I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now I get it. Running a business, having a family, and then she taught me. She said, "Look, it doesn't matter. You don't do things to get things out of anything, out of people. You do things because they're the right things to do.
Right.
You do things because they make you happy in life,
Love it.
regardless if that person doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're never going to get anything back from them.
Yep.
Regardless if you lend somebody money knowing full well that they're never going to pay you back.
Yeah.
You do it because it makes you happy, and it was the right thing for you to do.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah. No, a lot of people could benefit from hearing those words
Yeah.
from a successful business person who,
Yeah.
from grassroots up, kind
Yeah.
of has achieved what you have. So, what does a day look like for you? When you wake up, just take a random day, a work day.
Yep.
Because I know people, successful people. There is a lot more that tend to live their life one way, but there are some that say, I sleep till 2:00.
Yeah.
Or do you get up early? Like what is a day? What does an average work day look like for you?
So for me, I consider success in two categories, right? Unfortunately, I think that as a culture, we view success and think of success financially, right? They
Mm-hmm.
think like your business is successful, why you're a very successful person. Me, the first thing to me is being successful in the little things in life, being a successful parent, a father to my daughter, being a successful husband to my wife, being a successful friend, successful boss. So I start my day every day saying to myself, okay, what am I going to do today? Be successful in those things first, the
Mm-hmm.
most important things in my life. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day.
I love it. The 5 a.m. club.
5:30. I
I'm
don't
in it.
care.
I'm in it.
I'm still to this day. I want to be the first one up. I
Yep.
want to be the first person doing things. I look over my. I go on the computer now. I look over my numbers. I look over mistakes. I look at the cameras. I
Love
look
it.
at messages that have been sent to me from people, comments, whatever it is. I want to make sure that's all in line first before I start my day,
I love it.
and I want to be the first to do it.
And that is the commonality among almost every
Yeah,
successful person
absolutely.
is they're not sleeping till noon.
No,
There are some exceptions,
of
right? The
course.
people in, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
maybe they were handed their wealth,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
somebody who worked for it knows, and sometimes the most times actually the people who are the most successful are the people who you almost could have counted out
Yeah.
early in the game,
Yeah.
right? Early in the career, early like, oh man, I'm year one, I'm negative on my profit and loss. Year two, I'm negative. Year three, I'm negative. You said six, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of negative, right?
Yeah.
You didn't give up, right?
No.
So you're the guy. And then the agent sometimes that is buried in debt, owns money to the IRS, but has a family and is trying to, wants to be the guy on social media posting pictures in Turks and Caicos, right?
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they got those are the ones that actually work. Where somebody who isn't like teetering that line, you can be a mediocre real estate agent and make 100 grand a
Yeah.
year, like mediocre,
Yeah.
right? So you can have a closing, you can have a month where you make 30 grand and then go ghost for 4 months.
Yeah.
Right, so agents like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's incredible to hear that. So you're up at 5:30. You're hustling. Do you go sleep late, early,
I mean, so I start
average?
off 5:30. I wake my daughter up at 6:30. I give that first hour, like I said, do those things.
Yeah,
I spend time with my daughter in the morning. She got to be at school at 8:15. So I'm always doing things with her. We're doing schoolwork. I'm getting her dressed for school, breakfast, blah blah blah. We're
hmm
hanging out. I drop her off at school, and I go straight to the bar. Go straight to the dewdrop. I get in the dewdrop and I do what I do there, just check things over. I talk with my managers, like I said,
yeah.
go over the look, make sure we're on the same page, make sure what's coming up, what's going on,
hmm
anything new, blah blah blah. And I do then. I'll either leave there in the afternoons and go run around my errands. I got to shoot to the bank. I got to shoot here, blah blah blah. Or I stay there and just continue to work. It's busy, so I got to help them
Yeah,
out.
of course.
Yeah, and then a lot of times at night now with my daughter, she changed. She showed me how to live life a little bit better.
Yeah, totally.
I want to be a at home dad and be a father. So a lot of times, especially during the week, I make sure I pick her up at school. So I
Love
get
it.
to school by 3:30. I pick her up from school. I spend time with her basically the rest of the night.
You couldn't do that in the lumberyard. You work in
No,
a lumberyard, right?
no, couldn't do it. Couldn't do that. And I go to bed. I, I mean, I'm up till my employees are out of the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So whatever time that is,
gotcha.
I got the cameras. I'm on the phone with them, keeping an eye on them, make sure everything's okay.
Love it.
And then I go to bed again. I wake up 5:30, so I could sleep
Yeah.
for 5 hours. I could sleep for 3 hours, whatever it is. I don't
Mhm.
care. I just, I want to make sure that I'm prepared and ready for my day every
Yeah,
single day.
love it.
Never stop.
If you could do anything different that you've done in the last, I don't know, let's say 2006 since you had the bar, what would you do different? Is there any specific hire you made that maybe you wouldn't have done, or just generally speaking?
Generally, good question. I probably would have believed. Not that I was always a confident person. I'm always confident.
hmm
Sometimes too confident, but I'm always confident. And when I bought the business, I stopped believing in myself. I was scared to make certain decisions. I was afraid of the consequences. Where before that in my life, I never was.
Firing somebody, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and firing somebody.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
tough, right?
Somebody who's stealing from me, or just like changing the business. Like I said, like what took me 5 years to start making these changes. Why didn't I make them after year two? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like little things. I learned a lot from it, but I probably regretted a lot of it too. But I don't know. I really don't. I have no regrets. I really
Good.
don't. I learned a lot from my mistakes.
Yeah,
I let a lot of people take advantage of me, but in the end,
you won.
I won. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like I look
that's
at
awesome.
I look at all the people who try to take advantage of me, who stole from me,
hmm
who said bad things about me, who threw a brick through my window, who did everything. I look at all of them now, and I
Yeah.
know that every day they got to drive by and look at that place.
I like
16 and a
that's
half years now.
awesome.
Here I
That's
am,
the best feeling.
better than ever,
Yeah.
still going.
Yeah.
Not only that, just even being a part of my community. I'm such a big part of my community. The people that I work with, from the Value United Way to the Boys and Girls Club,
Yeah.
to Cancer Fund people.
Yes. I know
Foundation.
you're very involved in
Yeah, I'm
town.
so involved, and I love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I love being part of it. I
Yeah.
love making my community stronger.
Yeah.
I love making my employees succeed.
Yeah.
I love.
There's always
making
going to
my
be
family-
haters,
Oh,
right?
there's always, no, we don't talk about
I
that.
always tell them in real estate, because agents, some of them, have nothing better to do. I
Yeah.
said, don't stare at my plate too long, or your food will get cold.
That's right.
And that's an amazing
It is,
analogy for
absolutely.
like, dude, you're staring at my. What about yours?
Yeah.
What are you worried about me for?
Yeah.
You're hating on my podcast. You're talking about this, or
Yeah.
this guy's got a midlife crisis, has a funky
Yeah.
colored car, whatever the situation
Yeah.
may be. If you're talking about me, you're totally got your eyes off your
Off what you're
prize.
doing.
Totally.
In my business, I tell people all the time, I'm like, you know what? Like, and one thing I've learned, we talk about what I've learned, like, in the beginning, when someone said something bad or would stop coming around, I would chase after them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Like a
what
customer?
What
or-
happened? Yeah, customer. What's the matter? What happened? Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. Because you're almost desperate. I wasn't making money. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, I realized, like, what am I doing? Why am I concentrating on 5% of the people that come through my doors?
There you go.
95% of the customers that come through my door are great people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They take care of us. They have smiles on their face.
Yeah.
I got to make friendships with them. Like, why am I concentrating on 5%
Yeah.
of these people, and I got 90%? And
Yeah.
I've stuck with that to this day.
Yeah.
And so no matter what people write about me, and not everything is great about me, no matter the lies, the BS that comes
Yeah.
with it, the drama that comes
Mhm.
with it, I let it roll. Go what you can do. I got people here.
Yeah.
Need my attention right now.
Well, our story is incredible too. I mean, I got to jump in and help out a little bit on your purchase and
Oh,
your
you helped out a
sale.
lot the
But-
first time.
But beyond that, I had I had a party at my house, and you came.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Brought your family.
Yep.
I didn't even know you. Really,
Yeah.
I barely knew you. Just those are the relationships that are important to
right.
make, right? Like, I'm not trying to have you buy a house through me, and you're not trying to get me to buy your chicken wings.
Yeah.
Right. But now we're friends, and
Yeah.
we talk, and we we just kind of grow together, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. And clap for our friends. A lot of that doesn't happen.
No.
People got to clap. You got to clap for your
You
friends.
do. You got to
Totally
clap for your friends.
friends.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to support your employees. You know
Yeah.
this. You know that. I want my employees to succeed. I'm here for you guys to succeed, man. I
Yeah.
love seeing you get a good paycheck every week.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier
Yeah.
than you being able to make that money while you work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
great.
want you to succeed. And like you said, we came from nothing. So we understand what it
Right.
means. And
Mhm.
we know the hard work and effort that you put into it. And let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
There's no silver spoons here.
No. It's not,
awesome.
and I tell them, like, this is great. I'm giving you an opportunity, but you have way more chances to create your own opportunity working for me, right?
Mhm.
You can learn a skill. You get a great resume. You get a good salary.
Mhm.
You could leave me and say, hey, I cook for the Dewdrop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I want to do something more in life.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, this
Yeah.
this is great. Hey, I bartended at the
Yeah.
Dewdrop. I was a manager at the Dewdrop. Here's my responsibilities. Like,
Yeah.
you can do something more than just what you're doing
What you're
now.
doing now. There's
the-
growth.
There's growth in the future for
Potential.
you. So, let's
Yeah.
do it. Take advantage of it.
I always say I want to train my agents so well that they, are happy and don't want to leave, but prepare them so well that they can. If
Can.
that's and
Absolutely.
when an agent here gets their broker license, I'm the first one posting.
Yeah.
Congrats to Johnny, he just got his broker license.
Yeah.
So that's good. Clap for your friends, right?
Absolutely, man.
That's
Absolutely.
That's
man.
what it's about. So, wrapping up, what's the best way somebody watching today to obviously get in touch with you or come down? The address of the bar, website, social channels, anything you want to share with people who are listening if they want to check you out.
I mean, listen, just come check us out, right? I mean, this is the social media age, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, Dewdrop NCT is our thing. It's our Facebook page. It's our website page.
Mhm. So dewdropnct.com.
DewdropNCT.com.
That's
yeah.
all your channels.
That's it.
Address?
Everything.
Prop-
Everything. I mean, we're in 25 North Avenue in Derby.
okay.
So, just come and check us out. I tell people we're all mature adults in this world, right?
Yep.
So, like, regardless of what you hear, good, bad,
Yeah.
I don't care,
Yeah.
right? come and see.
Yeah, support.
Come and support.
Yeah.
See what the Dewdrop is about.
Yeah.
Maybe you get the vibe like 90% of the people do, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for you.
Right.
It doesn't make us
That's
bad people. It's
okay.
just not for you. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you
There's
tried
nothing
it.
wrong with that.
Hey, how about this? Mention the Expect Better podcast. We will give you a free glass of water.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
7 days a week.
Because we got to stay in business.
I may even throw in a lemon.
You're gonna throw a lemon in?
Maybe throw a lemon on there
I hope
too.
people learn from that exit on this
See,
show.
there you
right?
go. That's it, man.
Check it out. Not come down and get a 1 cent wing. Come in and support. Right.
That's it.
So
That's
Jay,
it.
appreciate you coming on the
Yeah,
show.
I appreciate
today.
you having me.
Thanks
man.
for being here. It was
Yeah.
awesome. The Expect Better podcast. Like, subscribe, follow us, and tune in next time. Thanks so much, Jay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, man.
See ya.